Hi everyone, my name is Jeyfferson and I will be the first speaker that will answer the questions about the history of Nüshu. First question, what is Nüshu? Nüshu, which literally means the women's writing, is a unique script that is developed and used exclusively by every woman in Zhangyon County, specifically in Yunnan province in China. So the unlike the traditional Chinese writing, that is logographic, which every character represents a concept or a word. The Nüshu is syllabic, which means every character of Nüshu represents a sound. So it was typically used in informal contexts like letters, songs, embroidery, and even the diaries. It has a elegant strokes and a Chinese cursive, but the characters were distinct and not legible for those people who were unfamiliar with the script. Next question is, who were involved with Nüshu? So the primary users of Nüshu were rural, mostly uneducated women who lack access to formal education and often confined to domestic life. So these women use this script or this language to express their personal experience, their grief, their resilience, and also their bonds with other women. So there is also one of the most prominent figures associated with the language Nüshu, was the late Yang Wanyi. Yang Wanyi is the last native speaker or a writer of the script. Before her death in 2004, Yang worked with linguist and scholar to document and to preserve the language. So it it brought a renewed attention to Nüshu, which is now recognized globally as a rare and a powerful symbol of female solidarity and resistance. Today, Nüshu is studied by linguists and historians, and also feminists, and efforts have been made to revive and honor it as a part of China's cultural heritage.
Thank you, Mr. Ravello. Now let's proceed with my topic is, where did Nüshu exist? Nüshu exists in a very small and remote area of southern China, specifically in Jinyang County in Hunan province. This region is made up for a small village surrounded by mountains, and it was quite isolated from major cities and cultural centers. Because of this isolation, Nüshu remained a hidden and local tradition for many years, and it was mainly used by women in rural communities, especially those who specific local dialect. Those women were often not allowed to attend to school or learn to read and write standards Chinese. So instead, they developed Nüshu, a secret phonetic script they could use to write letters, songs, poems, and even personal stories. It became a private way for women to share their emotions, from close bonds, and express themselves in a specific word. Their voice were often silenced. And Nüshu was across of all China. It was very localized to just a few villages in Jinyang. Most men didn't even know it existed, which is part of what made it so special and unique. From century, it remained a quiet form of communication passed down from mother to daughter or between female friends. So while Nüshu is a part of Chinese culture, it's really only existent in the small corner of Yunnan province, where it served as a powerful symbol of sisterhood and resemblance among women. Let's proceed to the next presenter, Mr. Santiago, who will talk about when did Nüshu exist.
Thank you, Salamanca, for that wonderful explanation. This time I'll be talking about when did Nüshu exist. So, first, have you ever heard of a secret writing system used only by women? Deep in the rural areas of Yunnan province in southern China, a unique script called Nüshu, which literally means women's writing, was created and used by women for hundreds of years. It's believed to have originated sometime between the 13th and 15th centuries, though it really gained cultural significance during the Qing dynasty at a time when women were often denied access to education. This writing system gave them a way to express their inner lives, form bands, and preserve their own knowledge to education.
Why did Nüshu exist? Nüshu existed because women in old Chinese society, especially in rural areas, didn't have access to education like men did. They weren't taught Chinese characters, kanji, and cultural beliefs, especially Confucian ideas, expected them to just be obedient daughters, wives, or mothers. But even though they weren't allowed to go to school, women still had thoughts and feelings they wanted to share. So, they created Nüshu, a secret script just for women. They used it to write poems, letters, personal stories, and songs, often to express their emotions, sadness, and support for each other. It also helped build strong bonds between women, especially among sworn sisters, close female friends who supported one another through life's challenges. Nüshu became their way to communicate privately and keep a female-centered culture.
Thank you, Ms. Soprito. And now that we have learned why Nüshu existed, is to give voice to women who were silenced. And it made me think, what if something like that happened here in our country? Let's go back to the Spanish colonial period in the Philippines. During that time, women had very limited rights. They weren't allowed to go get formal education, they had no say in important matters, and they were expected to be quiet, obedient, and stay inside their house. Their thoughts, feelings, and struggles were kept hidden. So imagine if that silence had lasted longer. Filipino women might have created their own version of Nüshu. Maybe not the same as script, but something that felt just private and more powerful. Maybe they could have embroidered secret messages into their clothes, written coded poems, or passed letters and symbols only women could understand. It could have been their way to express their pain, strength, or simply to support one another when no one else listened. And even today, the silence hasn't fully disappeared. In some families or communities, girls still told to stay quiet and not complain, or to hold back when they want to speak up. But now, instead of writing with a brushes and silk, maybe women expresses themselves differently through anonymous online posts, group chats, diary entries, or spoken word poetry, their own modern Nüshu. So, what does this tell us? It shows that when voices are pushed down, people will still always find a way to be heard, whether 19th century China or in present-day Philippines. They need to speak, to connect, and to be understood never disappears. That's the heart of Nüshu, not just about writing system, but a symbol of resilience and the power of hidden voices.